Hey there guys, Jarrett here, aka Sergeant Siage, back in here with another video. And if you saw the title of this video here, you know the fragrances here we're going to be talking about today. I will say, just leading off, neither one of these fragrances are blind buy safe. That is for sure, because I had to spend some time with one of these. I'm not going to say which one yet, but I had to spend some time with one of these and really start liking it. And actually, it was a comment that I ended up seeing on, I don't remember if it was Parfumo or Fragrantica, but it was a comment on there that I ended up seeing that really started to open my mind and wrap my head around the fragrance here a little bit more. But let's go ahead and get into talking about these here, because the first one is going to be that one that I needed some time here with, and that's going to be Arabiyat Prestige's Ramad Oriental. Now, this is my first Arabiyat Prestige fragrance that I've actually owned. I've ended up trying a few of them here, but this was just interesting to me because I had not gotten my nose on something like Amouage Outlands. It is ridiculously expensive here. I believe it retails upwards north of $500, so that is not going to happen. But this stuff right here, I will say, it kind of, I mean, if you never smelled anything like this before, and I can't really, pick any one thing here that it is like. It is a very, I would say, amber-focused fragrance here. However, the comment that I saw that really started to get my head to wrap around, what this smells like and stuff. As, I've let this sit, it definitely, the opening has gotten better. The opening is what is really throwing me off. But it's definitely gotten a little bit better over time here. But as the dry down, I think the dry down is where the magic is with this. The dry down of this, it almost has like a churro styled smell to it here. Almost, like a baked good or something like that here, at least to my nose. And as soon as I read that comment, I was like, man, that does, especially in the air, it does. It smells like a churro, because on skin, the opening is a little bit very resinous and almost has like I don't want to say like a plastic tinge to it, but it definitely gives off like a vibe of something that is very synthetic. I think the quality of this stuff is actually pretty good, like of the blend in general, but I definitely don't see myself, going out of my way to wear something like this on a daily occasion, even during the fall, winter time, where something like this is going to be a little bit more suitable, because it is kind of a Oriental styled, resinous, slightly spicy scent profile here. But yeah, all in all, after I just sprayed it here, it definitely seems, even off the atomizer here, of like giving off the churro type of vibe here. Maybe not like a one-for-one for a churro, but something that's churro-like, I would say. So if you like fragrances like that, I would say, yeah, this is going to be for you. I know like certain other people that I've tried both this and Outlands say that this is less incensey. I definitely don't get a whole ton of incense in here. Probably a little bit, but not a whole lot. So I would keep that in mind. First impressions ratings, I will say that this is not going to be something that I'm going to run towards. It's something that I will probably give a few wearings here to give it a try, especially as we start getting the cooler weather. But right now, this week, it is not. I gave it a few wearings whenever we were in the cooler weather like a week and a half ago, and it was like, okay. And now, I would say, I mean, we're in the 80s here today, so this isn't going to come out today. But yeah, I would probably rate it right around a 7 out of 10. That's Arabiyat Prestige's Ramad Oriental. And the second fragrance I have here is one that got a lot of hype. I believe it was close to 2 months ago now, maybe about a month and a half ago. Uh, but it's one that I had on my radar just because it looked like something of a scent profile that was very unique. And they copied another Clive Christian fragrance that I have in Town and Country and did a really good job on that one. And that thing is a beast of a performer. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger on this. I don't have that many raspberry or tea fragrances in my collection, and that is Lattafa's Dynasty. Now, the presentation on this is fantastic. The cap, I would say the cap's a little bit cheap here, but it's thick enough that it's not going to be, cheap, and it does have enough heft to it, that it does not feel like super duper cheap or anything like that. But this scent profile, especially to me, is a little bit more unisex. And I mean, you are going to have to like tea fragrances for you to like this, I will say that. But this is definitely something that is relaxing. Yeah, it's relaxing. It's very I don't want to say calming, but soothing, it feels like here. So definitely a soothing smell. I wouldn't say, I say it probably leans slightly more masculine, probably unisex, leaning a slight masculine than some other tea-based fragrances that are out there. But I will say here that this is, again, something that I don't think, if I were to say, hey, are you going to go out and purchase this again, I would probably say no. I would probably say no. And I would tell people that are blind buying, don't even take a gander at this, because to me, this is, a very specific taste, for one. And two, whenever I smelt this the first time, I was like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty good. But then my mind immediately went to, but when am I gonna wear this right now here? Because yeah, you can wear this at any time. However, it's probably gonna be the best for like spring, summer, fall. So I mean, we are going into fall here, so it is going to be good for this time. The problem is here, it's such a weird scent profile to me that its occasion on when you wear it is going to be like, where are you going to take this? Do you wear this to a wedding? Are you wearing this, in a white t-shirt? Is this office safe? And to me, I would say that this is probably more so an office styled scent. And anything outside of that, I mean, you could probably get away with taking it on a date, but to me, I think I would go after, something else rather than this here. But I will say it is a unique fragrance in itself. I haven't really smelt anything similar to this. It definitely has some DNA resemblances. I know, like on Fragrantica, it says it might resemble. I mean, I know it's a Clive Christian fragrance here, but the other stuff I'm talking about is something like L'Homme Ultime. I don't really get that vibe from this at all. So, yeah, I would kind of steer clear of that. But, yeah, anyways, first impressions on this. This is actually pretty good, I will say. It's just one of those here. If I had to blind buy it again, now knowing what the scent profile is, would I do it? Probably not. I probably would not, if I'm being honest. But my first impressions rating on this, I would probably give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's solid. I think the perfumer, I think Alex Lee was the perfumer for this. I think he did a really good job on this fragrance here, because there's nothing, inherently wrong with this fragrance here. It is just like one of those things that you smell it and you're like, okay, well, when am I going to wear this? Because this is like super unique and probably not going to smell like anybody else that's around out there. Not super projecting off the skin, but it's moderate to what it is here, and its longevity is right around that 7-hour mark. That's what I've been getting with this stuff here. So overall, you know, this is one of those videos here where the haul is not, you know, mind-blowingly great or anything. Not like the last one here, the last video. I would say that, you know, those are all pretty good bangers. But this is like the risk that you take whenever you're playing the game like this here. So I would always keep that in mind, and that's kind of why I made this video here, is because even though both these fragrances aren't terrible, I'd probably still consider this haul to be a blind buy L, so to speak here, because I just don't know how often that I will actually wear these. And considering all the hype that something like Outlands has gotten, especially in the niche space, its scent profile is something that I just don't really see. I don't understand the hype for it. I'll just say that here. So to each their own, though, I guess here. So that's going to wrap up for today's video. My next video, go over some summer fragrances here that did really good for me, and then we're going to start getting into fall fragrances that I am looking forward to here. But that's going to wrap it up here for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.